The bustling street market fell silent for a heartbeat as a frail young girl, her bald head gleaming under the autumn sun, held up a vibrant painting with trembling hands, her eyes brimming with unspoken hope. At just 14, Lily had transformed her hospital room sketches into a small collection of artwork, each stroke a testament to her battle with leukemia. The makeshift stall she'd set up with her mother's help was adorned with colorful canvases, their prices scribbled on cardboard signs, every penny destined for her next chemotherapy session. Passers-by glanced, some paused, but few stopped, their hurried lives brushing past her quiet courage. Then, out of the crowd, a familiar figure emerged, John Kennedy, the renowned art collector whose name echoed in galleries worldwide, his sharp suit and thoughtful gaze cutting through the mundane chaos. No one could have predicted the shock that would follow. Lily's journey had begun 2 years earlier when a routine checkup revealed the devastating diagnosis. The once lively girl, who'd spent summers painting landscapes with her father before he passed, found herself confined to a sterile hospital bed, her dreams fading with each painful treatment. Chemo drained her energy, her hair, and her savings, leaving her family struggling to cover the mounting medical bills. Her mother, Sarah, a single parent working 2 jobs, refused to let despair win. One evening, as Lily sketched a starry night to distract herself from the nausea, Sarah had an idea. "Your art could help us," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. They decided to sell Lily's paintings at the local market, turning her talent into a lifeline. The first day was slow, with only a handful of sales, but Lily's determination grew with each kind word from a stranger. The market became their battleground. Lily, despite her weakened state, insisted on being there, her small frame propped up by a chair as she explained her work to curious onlookers. Some bought out of pity, others for the beauty of her pieces, but each sale brought a flicker of hope. Sarah stood by her side, her face etched with worry yet glowing with pride, handing out flyers that detailed Lily's story and her fight for survival. The community began to rally, neighbors donating supplies, a local cafe offering free coffee, but the funds were still a trickle against the tide of medical costs. Lily's latest scan showed the cancer was stubborn, requiring more aggressive treatment, and more money they didn't have. The pressure weighed heavily, but Lily painted on, her canvases a defiant burst of color against the grayness of their circumstances. Then came that fateful afternoon. John Kennedy, known for his discerning eye and generous heart, was in town scouting new talent for an upcoming charity auction. He'd heard whispers of a young artist at the market, but nothing prepared him for the sight of Lily. As he approached, his polished shoes clicking against the pavement, the crowd parted, sensing something significant. Lily, lost in adjusting a painting, didn't notice him at first. Kennedy stopped, his gaze lingering on a piece depicting a girl dancing under a cosmic sky, a self-portrait, Lily later revealed. The emotion in the brushstrokes moved him, and he asked, "Who painted this?" Sarah, startled, pointed to Lily, who looked up with wide, uncertain eyes. The market held its breath as Kennedy knelt beside her, his voice soft but firm. "This is extraordinary. May I buy it?" The offer was generous, far more than the $20 price tag, but what happened next stunned everyone. Kennedy didn't just buy one painting, he purchased the entire collection, handing Sarah a check that covered not only the artwork but also several months of Lily's treatment. The crowd erupted in applause, tears streaming down Sarah's face as she hugged her daughter. But Kennedy wasn't done. He announced he'd feature Lily's work at his charity auction, promising to donate all proceeds to her medical fund. The news spread like wildfire, drawing media attention and donations from across the country. Lily, overwhelmed, whispered to her mother, "I thought I was losing, but maybe I'm winning." The weeks that followed were a whirlwind. Lily's paintings sold for thousands at the auction, her story inspiring a wave of support. A local artist offered free lessons, helping her refine her skills, while a crowdfunding campaign raised enough to ensure her treatment continued without financial strain. The cancer began to retreat, each scan a victory, though the road to recovery remained long. Kennedy visited often, becoming a mentor and friend, teaching Lily about the art world and encouraging her to keep creating. Sarah found a better job, her burden lightening as the community embraced them. Lily's stall at the market grew into a symbol of resilience, her new works reflecting a brighter future. By the time the leaves turned golden again, Lily stood stronger, her hair just beginning to grow back, a soft fuzz of hope. At a special event honoring her journey, she spoke to a packed room, her voice steady. "I painted to survive, but you all helped me live. Art saved me, and so did kindness." The audience rose in a standing ovation, tears and smiles mingling. John Kennedy, standing at the back, nodded with pride. The story of the girl who turned pain into beauty, and the collector who saw her soul, left an indelible mark, a reminder that even in the darkest battles, compassion and creativity can light the way to healing.